set the saw up today. Yep. All ready to cut up wood. From metalwork to woodwork, dead easy. That way around might help. Just double check that's the same size as this one. 1.5 inches, yep. Happy now, I've got a decent blade. Cool. So just going to glue these together. That'll be the centres. Like that. That's upside down, obviously. That'll be that way up. Just got to mark them centre. Make sure I get them all marked up right. Almost mini wine glasses. Oops. These two blocks have now dried up. They've been Gorilla Glued together and they're ready to go onto the lathe. This one looks like it's shifted a little bit through the gluing process. It's a bit wobbly, but we'll see. As you can see, they are pretty much identical in size. We're making 2 candle holders with these ones for Mum. Mum said that she would like walnut, purple heart. So I've done a walnut and purple heart sandwich. Obviously these will be the stem. I'm going to make them a bit like, I think like mini wine glasses to hold the candles. So I'll get it up at 800 RPM. Right then, I don't quite know what happened, but the stupid camera did its dodgy thing with the with its corrupting files. I don't know what it's doing with that, but yeah. So as you can see, I've got it to round how I want it. This walnut is absolutely beautiful in places. It's gorgeous. Yeah. So I've got it to round. I'm just going to take that end off here because I want it nice and square cut. There we go. Very gently with this bit. Right, cool. Start that, whip it back. Oh, look at that. That's really good actually. So I just need to place that roughly equal. and put a pen marker. It's pretty much actually on this line here. And then I can get to hollowing that middle out. I know not to go any further than that. The size of the base of that is to get it fit nicely in there. .48mm force and a bit. So the question is, do we have a 48mm force and a bit? Because that would be helpful, wouldn't it? And what have I got right there? Right in the middle. It says 48mm, which is 1 7/8. Well, again, that was fun. Right, that don't take long to do. Okay, that's sat on the bottom now. So it does want to go down a little bit more than that, because that's not seated correctly. Unfortunately, that means Jacob's chuck back on, so just get that shoved in there, done nice and quick. How does it fit? Now that is exactly how I wanted it to fit. So it actually fits, the glass rim sits perfectly inside. Right, let's crack on. Right, so yeah, I'll bring you guys back once I've got a final shape to this. Playing around with ideas. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, he says. What is he doing? Look, you can see it shaking. Hello. What are you doing? Wow. Yeah, that's not so good there. It's going to need some quite serious sanding, that. We'll be alright though. I think I can deal with it. What is it do? Right, ready to run? Oh yeah. Oh, you just love this lathe. A quick question, guys. Do you notice anything wrong about this? Yes. It doesn't have that attached to that. It was on there a minute ago. I just used the parting tool, put the parting tool in there to put a mark on it so I could then transfer the marks onto the next piece, and it went and went flying off. So as you can see just there, it was only being held on by that farty little bit of glue. So that was clever of me, wasn't it? But it's yeah, it flew off. It actually sits it sits nice and flat, and it takes the glass insert in it really well. However, it's not sanded, it's not finished, and I've still got to take off that bottom bit. Oops. Right, well, I'll get the reverse bowl jaws out then. Right, so after the little bit of a problem I had yesterday with this flying off the lathe when I didn't want it to, obviously I've put the cold jaws in, as you can see, or reverse bowl jaws, whatever you want to call them, and my plan is to hold this in that way around in the reverse bowl jaws, and then I can take the bottom off, finish the bottom, and get it logoed up with my brand. And I've also filled the very edge here that chipped out that I didn't like with super glue, so obviously that I can be able to sand that back without it chipping out anymore. I just give a nice solid edge. So what I'm going to do is get this mounted in here nice and straight, ideally, and without breaking it would be the other ideal part. Oh, that's relatively good. That needs sanding up now, and then this all needs sanding and finishing so that I can then flip it and put it back in there. So exactly like this has all been sanded up from 120 all the way up to, this is a 800 pad. And then I'm going to get out the sanding sealer, I'll get the Yorkshire grit, and then the microcrystalline wax. Okay, so it's burning time. I'll put my logo in there, my brand. Hopefully it just fits in there. Look. Ah, that's better. Right, so it's sanding sealing time, and then get it Yorkshire gritted up. Move you guys around so you can see a bit better. For the first part, which is I use cellulose sanding sealer. This is my thinned one, and it's thinned with cellulose thinners. Proper stuff to do the proper job. As everybody knows, I'm not sponsored by anybody yet. Maybe one day, but I'm not sponsored by anybody. I just like to promote products that are good, that I've used and I know work. Because I struggle with trying to find products that are good and work. So when I find them that do work and are good, I will let you guys know. So we'll do some of that. Make sure you give a good shake first. Tissue, tip it upside down, I've seen plenty on there, and then it's just Yorkshire grit is there. It's woodturners abrasive paste. Now this stuff is absolutely brilliant. I really like it. Now something that I tend to use, Scotch Brite pad. This Scotch Brite pad is like using 00 steel wool. You can see it's got some Yorkshire grit on it. I'll put a little bit more Yorkshire grit on there to show you guys. Look, so there's a fair bit on there. And then we turn the lathe on, if the lathe behaves. 500 RPM. There we go, we're at 500. There we go, that's that done. So back to the tissue with the Yorkshire grit on it already. Light piece of walnut just there. That's pretty. And that's, so we've got Yorkshire grit microfine this time. And obviously it is what it says, it's microfine, so it's got really small bits of aggregate in there that will knock together and do exactly the same job, just finer. So get a load of that onto your tissue. I just wiped it on my lathe. And again with it, just smear it on everywhere. There we go. Now I can do the turner on. I go up to 540. Oh, great. Doesn't normally do it 500. There you go, 550. Just fold it in half, get it into those grooves in there. Ooh, not burning your fingers. It's warm. Now you can turn it down. And off, so you can have a good look at it. It's quite nice and shiny there. That purple heart, it's quite really nice and shiny. I'm a bit annoyed about this bit, but there's nothing I can do about it. I can't waste a very good bit of wood just because I'm stupid and caught it with a gouge. Next one is microcrystalline wax. It's a food safe product. It's water repellent. It's not good wax, and we put this on here, let it set up, and then we buff it off. So it looks like inside. You get your tissue, a bit on your tissue, quite a bit, and then again same as the Yorkshire grit really. You get a nice even coat sort of thing all over your work. You don't want any big lumps of it because it won't set up properly. It'll need 20 minutes to set up, and then we can come back to that and buff the life of it and get it buffed off. So, okay, I'll see you guys in 20. Okay, that's been set up for a good 20 minutes now. So I'll get it spinning and then we can buff it off. Right, 100. And off. There we go. that space. I do love walnut. It is a very pretty wood. And the purple heart rings. Right, so let's get it turned around and get the inside and that top finished. Okay, that's that all polished up. I do like walnut. Very pretty wood, isn't it? Dust on my hands, I'll just wipe my hands across it. And there we go. It's probably the prettiest bit just there. So the second one is here. Let's crack on. This one will be in fast forward. Let's see how fast we can make it. Well, that has buggered that up. I'm kind of glad-ish that it has, because I've also just seen there that it wasn't glued up overly well. I've resined, so I've mixed up some epoxy, Gorilla epoxy resin, which is that one. I've 5-minute epoxy. I've mixed some of that up and I've put it into, well, I've sanded faced both edges, so I've sanded them and put them together, and I've tried to mix some, as you can see there, I've tried to mix some sawdust into the big holes where it split out, and all I can do is basically wait until the morning now to see whether that actually sets. So yeah, never mind, it is what it is. You can't do it about these things. It was the glue that, it was the joint that was glued together that failed. Unfortunately, it took some bits of the walnut with it because it split out. There's nothing I can really do about that. All I could say is what I should have done is perhaps when it was in one massive lump first, cored the centre out. Hey, so first thing this morning, I get a letter through the post, and I think it might be some Wheelsdan mail, because I haven't had any Wheelsdan mail for a long time. My sticker board's been the same for quite a while, but that's fine. The only thing with this one is some tight bugger didn't pay the fee. So they only put a cheap old second class stamp on here, and I had to pay £1.50 to get it delivered. It's not a major problem, but what's in here? So I've got a note that says, I saw this and thought of you. What a bit of paper. There's something in it. There's a badge. Oh, it's a little pin badge. What does that say? I think I might have a tiny idea who this might be. This says the Morris Miners Owners Club. Can you see that? That would be someone that's been to my house or knows my car. I don't have a Morris Minor. I have what we call the Beast. For you guys in America that live over the pond, you'll know exactly what my car is. But I think this there is a stamp here that says Preston. D. Metcalf, Esquire. Brian, is this you? I'm pretty sure it is. There might be some payback for this. Right, let's crack on with the work we're supposed to be doing.
Oh, Henry.
Right guys, I'm back. So yeah, it's had overnight to sit there and think about what it did yesterday. Stupid thing. No, it was more the user that was stupid, as in me. So as you can see, I've resined it up. Oh yeah, I can deal with that. It actually has pretty much no movement whatsoever here, a little bit more here, and considerably more in the middle. So what are we on now? We're on 12:25, and it took me 40 minutes to break it. It normally doesn't take me 40 minutes to break something, but it took me 40 minutes to break it. So we'll see how long it takes me to hopefully fix it. Okay, I'll shut up and we'll carry on with the timer. A little bit late, but it's okay. 5:12. It's not had too long to set up. Okay, let's go. Ah, stupid thing. Come on. I knew from that one. So lots of lessons learnt.